Hi, I'm Carolyn, and today I'm going to teach you how to can tomatoes. So the first thing I did is we picked the garden a few days ago, and the tomatoes look nice and ripe now. And I washed them all up really thoroughly. Over here I have a pot of boiling water, and over here I have my canner boiling. In the dishwasher I have my quart-sized jars, my rings, and the lids. Now I did pull some lids out, and I have them, these are the lids. I put them in a pot of water that are going to boil in the back. That'll help disinfect them and make them prepared for our canner. So let's start with our tomatoes. Again, I have tomatoes right here already washed, and here's a pot of boiling water. The first thing you do is go ahead, drop your tomatoes into the pot of boiling water. You want to make sure all your tomatoes are good. And a tip I have told you before, make sure you're wearing sneakers when you're working with canning. I have a friend who burned themselves from the dripping water, so it's always good to put on a pair of sneaks. Let's just leave that in for about 2 minutes, and then we'll take them out and we'll dump them in some cold water just to help get the skins off. It's a really easy process. It's just a matter of preparing beforehand. Oh, I also picked some fresh basil. When I pack my tomatoes, I like to have fresh basil in there as well. So let's get a couple paper towels. You will need paper towels to clean off the rim of your jars, and you'll need salt, a teaspoon, some sort of funnel. I use this handy tool to get the air out of the jars. Let's take a peek at these. Grab a spoon. Just want to be able to slip the skins off of these tomatoes. So what do you do with your tomatoes? I usually do 40 to 50 jars of tomatoes, and this year I did run out. I make my meatballs and gravy with it. I use it for my pizza. You can use it for stews. You'll definitely find plenty of uses for your tomatoes through the year. And we can check our canner, see how that's doing. And that's a gentle boil. I have the water about here. You want to make sure your jars are covered with at least an inch or two of water once they're placed inside. Okay, I'm just going to try to go ahead and take these out. See how we make out with those. You can keep the other ones in. I'm just going to put them right in that cold water. We'll test it and see how easily the skins come off. So I usually just cut the end, that's trash, and then I slip off the skin, just like this. Yeah, that's working nicely. So I'll pop them right in this bowl. As a matter of fact, let's move it over here so you can see. So we're just taking off the end. This is my scrap pile. And easily the tomatoes slip out. So taking off the end, making sure there's not any rot. If there's any rot, you could cut that little piece out. But if the whole tomato is rotten, you want to get rid of it. Just throw it out. I think you get the general idea how this is working. And I'm back. Our tomatoes are all peeled and ready to go. Just going to grab the quarts out of the dishwasher. So what we do, we make sure our jars before we put them in are good. There's no cracks or no chips in any of them. You can just run your finger across the top to make sure. So they're all, I did check them before. I'm having my kettle, I'm getting that boiling. I have the water back here with our lids in it, and I have extra water in my teapot, just about boiling. Actually, it's on low right now because it already did boil, in case I need to add water to my kettle. All right, so my hands are washed and clean, and I'm just going to go ahead and put some tomatoes in my jar. Then we take a nice clean paper towel, a little dampened, and we wipe the edge off, the top edge, so the ring can seal. Take my little tool. I'll grab a lid, nice clean lids. These have to be brand new. Everything else can be from the year prior. You can have jars that you use year after year. Oh, I wanted to show you this. So when you put your lid on, you just want to hand tighten and then just a little tight. You don't want to go as hard as you can. So you want to be able to have air come through there so that way it seals. So then we're just going to pick up our jar. Looks nice. It's going to go into our canner. I'm putting it up on the top for right now, but it could go, slide that right down. So we'll do all 7 jars and we'll put them in, and then we'll put the lid on, and it will boil for 45 minutes. So that's the canning time, 45 minutes in the canner. And then I'll come back and I'll show you what that looks like. I'll continue filling my jars, just like I showed you the first time, just placing tomatoes in. So we're back and we've let our canner go ahead and let me turn off the timer. Our canner boiled for 45 minutes, a gentle boil. It took about 20 minutes for our canner to start boiling, so you don't start the timer until the water is boiling. So let me go ahead and take the lid off. Let me turn off the canner, and we're going to go ahead and gently lift them out. A full canner is 7 quarts. We're going to gently lift them out. And if we did it right, we won't have any broken jars. Sometimes you do get a broken jar, and then you have to start over with your canner. Not all the jars would be wasted, just the jar that broke. But I have found that as long as you don't over tighten your lids, I know that a lot of recipes call for you to tighten the lids, but I say don't. Just lightly hand tighten them. Lightly. Oh yay, no broken jars. So we'll let them cool for at least 12 hours. Usually I let them cool overnight, and then you can write the date on the top of your lid, so that way you know the jars are usually good for 1 year. And you can unscrew the little screw tops off, this here. You can unscrew them and just leave the sealed lids. To make sure tomorrow, after when you're ready to move them, just press down to make sure they're concave, and that will assure you that they've sealed. If they haven't sealed, the tomatoes are still fine. Just put them in the refrigerator or cook with them immediately. I hope you enjoyed this segment. If you did, you can follow us on Facebook or look at our YouTube channel. If there's something you would like us to can or freeze for you, please just let us know. Thank you so much and have a great day.